Yo, I finally got my 3 Albaz structure deck, which means I can try to build Branded Dark Magician. So let's go ahead and try open this up right here. Yeah, we got some Digimon cards I got at locals. You'll love to see it. We've got this big ass mat. What is this? Oh yeah, it's literally just a mat. Great. It's got Mirror Jade, which is cool, and then Rebellion, which is it's alright, I guess. What's on the other side? A bunch of lore and how to summon dudes and crap. Cool. No one really cares about that shit, right? I'm just gonna absolutely destroy this box. Apologies to anyone watching. Alright, here it is. And the first card is this little bird, which... Has anyone read this card? Is it good? I don't think so. I don't think I've even read it. Oh, okay, so it's a negate, but you have to control a fusion that mentions Albaz. So what, it's like a situational hand trap, and then if it's banished, you can add a Fallen of Albaz or a monster that mentions it. It seems okay, but I don't think anyone's really going to play it, right? I don't know. Alright, I just struggled to open this pack of cards, which is clearly meant to be opened by a child, but you know, that's fine. That's a really nice little Battles of Chaos shout out in Albaz. But sure, we don't really care about that right now, do we? Alright, so we're starting off with this little bird guy. He's pretty cool. Tri Brigade Mercuria. So it's like meant to be a homing pigeon, I guess, but mechanical. Cool, we have Spriggan's Kit. Now this is like your budget Aluba from what I can remember. So if you have a fusion that mentions Albaz's material, you can special it from hand. That's pretty cool. If it's normal or special, you can add to your hand a branded spell trap that's banished or from deck or grave. So that's really nice, but then you have to place a card from hand on bottom of deck. So it's not quite a one-for-one trade. You still go negative. So, hey, if you don't want to buy Albaz, guys, just play 3 kit. It's fine. The Golden Sword Soul. This is a weird card. Spellcaster Tuner. I'm not going to get into this card because it's a lot of text, but yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of text that we're not going to play that card. Here's a card we will be playing. So in Branded, this card's obviously amazing. In Dark Magician Branded, we can make this, but we normally are just going to want to make Dragoon or Dark Magician Dragon Knight, so I don't know. I feel really strange about this card. Like, this card's obviously very good. Mirror Jade's fantastic, but I really care about this boy here. Rebellion is fantastic. We've been waiting for this guy for so long. Look at him. Look at that dude. He's a pretty boy. I wish he didn't have the discard, but, you know, he just has to. And there it is. The Branded Fusion. Isn't that just sensational? The Branded Fusion. It is a pretty card. It's so nice to hold it IRL instead of just using it on a simulator. But yeah, keen to play this card. We've got some branded traps. I'm not going to read them because LMAO traps in 2022. The Common Fallen of Albaz. This is what I'm actually going to play with this package because I don't want to open it. So I'm going to play the Common. Fantastic. Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Now, I'm pretty sure this card's actually pretty good. I'm just going to give it a quick read. So yeah, Albion with Soul Servant is really good because you get to place this card at the bottom of the deck and then you can draw one. So if you chain the Soul Servant effect, you can obviously draw into any DM card you like. So I'm going to try to incorporate that into my build as well. Common Fleur-de-Lis, super ugly, but good card in DM. So like, you could probably just slip this in anyway. If you don't have yourself a copy of Fleur-de-Lis, here's a common one. I would say get a nicer rarity one, but hey, common one's free. Fantastic. So I'm going to just move away all the cards that we're probably not going to play in DM. If you're watching this purely just for deck opening, sorry, but we're looking at this from a DM perspective. This is all we're really probably going to play at this point. Like, I guess you could argue Spriggan's Kit because it's like budget Aluba, but I just think it's unnecessary. It is, however, a dark. I don't know why that's relevant. If you want to play Allure of Darkness, I guess. Yo, we got a Duel Links token thing. Hell yeah, you'll love to see it. Why don't these work like the Pokemon TCG ones where you get like a free Duel Links pack? That would make sense, but no. Konami stanky. Alright, now we got Red MD. This is a great card if you play the Black Metal engine, but I do think it gets replaced by the Meteor Dragon later on. I'll have a video on that eventually. But yeah, I'm gonna put this here because you definitely can play it in DM. But I'm just going to move the stuff that we're playing for sure to the top line. And yes, I know they're not sleeved yet, and I'm sorry if that's triggering or anything, but yeah. The Thunder King Kaiju. Now, this is just not a good Kaiju for DM, so I'm just going to yeet that out of here. Chaos Levy as a common. This is disgusting. Good reprint, though. Good reprint. Great card. fantastic in Duel Links, awesome in TCG. Probably not going to play it in Dark Magician, but a great card to grab nevertheless. Lots of D-Link core stuff in here, of course. Here we have the Raiden. This is a great Kaiju to play in DM if you're playing Allure of Darkness, and if you're trying to make rank 7s. In that case, this is a great card to play. I still don't like it in DM purely because it's 28 attack. So that 28 attack stat is a bit too high in my opinion for a lot of DM stuff to get over, mainly DM himself. So I prefer to play like the Sticky String Kaiju, but once again, if you're playing Allure, like you got that Dark Attribute and it might be better off, yeah, in a more Allure-based build. But Allure's kind of dog shit right now, but that's alright. Artifact Scythe. An interesting reprint. Konami clearly know that everyone's playing Scythe.deck. But yeah, Brandon will hopefully change that, so cool. Go away, Scythe. We hope you get banned. Awesome, this is really good. Look at this D-Link core right here. That's crazy good. I might try and make a video on Chaos Space in future. And yes, it's 100% my idea. It has nothing to do with anyone else on the channel, anyone who comments on the channel. Definitely not someone called Asha. I don't know what you're talking about. It's 100% my idea, and yep, that is definitely a fact. Anyway, the white and black dragon, they're just so good, especially with Chaos Space. You probably won't play Starlight Safer in DM, but, you know, D-Link stuff, great, fantastic, fantastic. Keeper of Dragon Magic, I hate this card. Now it's a common, pretty disgusting, but sure. It's a reprint for those who need it. What's interesting is this card might be a better normal summon in Dark Magician now because of Branded Fusion. Like, you could argue it's kind of better than Rod. Maybe, like, it's still hard to say. Rod can get secrets though, so I don't know. I feel like Branded DM, you need to play secrets. But anyway, Keeper, I'm not going to put it here because I still really disagree with this card. It feels like it goes neg really hard, so I'm gonna put it over here, but if you want to play it, that's on you. Summon Monk, the card used to be amazing back in the day. It's not so great now, but still a really cool card to get a printing of if you haven't picked one up. Hey, check this out, we get some hand traps, and look, they're just commons, but that's fine. Effect Veiler and Ghost Ogre, fantastic, we love to see it. Brotor, a bit of an old D-Link boy, now in common, that's fine. It's nice to have like this D-Link package going on. Bunch of branded spells. I'm not going to look at them because these aren't really played. Like, Branded in Red isn't here and Branded Opening's not here, so do they really matter? Not really. Fusion Gate, interesting card, probably not going to play it. Recycling Plant, don't really like it. Fusion Substitute, LOL, Zodiac format. Gold Sark, yeah, probably not going to play it in DM. Extrav could be played in DM, but probably not while Dragoon's around. If we lose Dragoon, Extrav DM could definitely be the play because Extra Deck becomes irrelevant. Another copy of Call by the Great, fantastic. Dark Ruler in common, you'll love to see it. You know what, we could definitely play some of these cards, so I'm going to slip them in here. Dark Ruler's great. I do prefer Droplet, but you know what, it's a common, it's cheap, you love to see it. And Call by obviously can protect your Branded Fusion, your Ref, your Libellion, like, it's a good card to play. I know it's a 1, but we'll put it in here anyway because we got it for free. There's some Branded Traps, I'm not going to read them. Necrofusion, an interesting card because it can essentially get us to another Dragoon. Could be good, could be good. Could do Dark Magician Dragonite too, but I just don't like that it's a trap. It's pretty annoying playing second. Back to the front, generic Revival, it's okay for a structure deck, like sure. This is an interesting one, Warning Point. For those of you who don't know Warning Point, it's when a monster is summoned this turn. It can't attack, its effects negated, and it can't be used for Fusion, Exe, Synchro, etc. So it's really interesting if you're versing like, I don't know, Invoked, normal summon Alley, you flip Warning Point on it, it doesn't search, and then it can't be used for anything, right? How weird is that? Like, what do they do in that scenario? So I don't know, Warning Point's an interesting trap. It's not quite meta, but it's definitely strange to play around. There can only be one. Wow, awesome card, awesome card. And Dimensional Barrier, you can see I've kind of forgot everything that's in here. D-Barrier is fantastic, especially this format. You just flip it and call Fusion, congrats, you won the game. There can only be one, fantastic card, you'll love to see it, great Floodgate, Waking the Dragon, damn, who doesn't love resolving this? And we've got, wow, common Titanic Lad, that is shocking. Titanic Lad's probably the most relevant card, oh, Albion's here, never mind. So Albion's really great, we're definitely going to play Albion, now I've got to slot him in there. It's a shame he's a common, that sucks, I was hoping he was shiny like the rest. So anyway, I've got another Ash Dragon, that's cool, I really like this card for Dogmatica DM. Could definitely play it, so I'm just slip them over here. These fusions seem redundant, so see you later. Oh, these tokens. These tokens, why are they common? They look too good. Albaz and Aluba are the best looking ones. And you can see they're going for the whole like two sides of the same coin character here. Look how good these arts are. Like, they should, one, be shiny. Two, they should just be alt arts of Aluba and Albaz. Like, they look so good. Kind of a hate crime that they're on tokens, but sure. Sure, Konami, you would do that. And what, we got like Little Ecclesia, all the Tri-Brigades, and the Virtuous Vestals. I don't know who that's meant to be. It's meant to be Fleur? I don't know, who cares? Lore people, tell me in the chat. Alright, so some cards you might want to be playing in future DM builds is stuff like your Red MD, if you're going to play the Black Metal package. If you're going to play the Brandon package, I'm pretty sure Albion's really good, so we'll get to him in a bit. Call by the Grave and Dark Ruler, great cards. You'll love to see generic cards like this. And Fleur-de-Lis is a great extender, and if you're playing the Dogma package, obviously it can be a negate as well. Just a good card in general. Looking into the Brandon cards once again, just to recap. So if Albion is in your hand, you can send Fallen of Albaz or Branded spell from deck to grave, then special summon it, or place it at the bottom of the deck and then draw one. That's really good. That's really good, especially with Soul Servant. I can see some combos opening up with that. The Fallout of Albaz, you have to play it because, you know, you're playing Branded Fusion. Albion's cool. I just wish it wasn't a common. That's pretty lame. But it's very good. One Fallen of Albaz and a Light Monster. You love to see it. Lubellion, our boy who's great but discards for cost. Big sad, but whatever. Mirror Jade, cool card. And if you wanted to play Titanic, there's that. And the best card. The new card, Branded Fusion, baby. You love to see it. Alright, I'm going to try to come up with some combos for DM and this stuff, and I'll get back to you. So this is kind of like a second copy of Upstart, and I'll show you how. So basically, we're going to go and use Albion's effect from the hand. So I'm just going to put it down here, and that is sending Branded Fusion from deck to grave for cost. And then it's going to have a window where the opponent can respond. In this window, if the opponent does or doesn't respond, that's fine. We're going to change Soul Servant here, and that means we're going to be able to grab our Magician's Souls, or probably more importantly, our Magician's Rod, and we're going to be able to put that on top of the deck. Now, when this chain link resolves, Albion is going to put itself on the bottom of the deck because it doesn't shuffle, and now you draw one. Now you draw into your Magician's Rod. So the graveyard should be Soul Servant and your Branded Fusion. You can now normal summon your Rod and go for your Secrets or something like that. Now that play wasn't exactly the best. So while you can go for Rod and Secrets, I think it's better to go for Magician's Soul. So let's look at that as an option. All right, so once again, we've got Soul Servant and Albion. We're going to activate the Albion, sending the Branded Fusion from deck to the graveyard. Now the opponent has the chance to respond because we've sent for cost. Whether they respond or not, we're going to chain that Soul Servant, putting that Magician's Souls on top of the deck. On resolution, we're going to have Soul Servant hit the grave, and then we're going to have Albion go to the bottom of the deck, and we're going to draw Magician's Souls. Fantastic. From here, we can activate Magician's Souls. Now, we can send Mana here, or we can go ahead and send Dark Magician himself. You're pretty much going to send whatever you need. This could be DMG or Mahad once again. In this case, I'm going to send the Dark Magician. Now, from here, we're going to be able to banish Soul Servant and get an extra draw. Drawing into Circle, activate Circle. We're going to find Red Ice Fusion. Big sad. So yeah, look, I don't think those combos are too great, but I think there's something you can consider. All right, for this next one, it's going to be a 3-card combo. You do need Magician's Rod, Branded Fusion, and then either Magician's Souls or Dark Magician. It doesn't really matter which one. So because I think Magician's Souls is a better card, I'm going to pick that because we like to pick like the optimal cards. But don't forget that you could replace Rod or Magician's Souls here with Prep or Illusion of Chaos. So naturally, you can only replace one of them, and the other one you would have to hard open. But of course, in this case, Dark Magician can also count as a Magician's Souls here. So there's a couple of different ways that you could have this opening. So don't think it's impossible. Don't think like, oh, a 3-card combo, like that's stupid. This is stuff that we should keep in the back of our mind. So we will have 2 other cards. So let's just find a way to represent that. Fantastic. 2 Ash Blossom, they're going to be our other cards in the hand. So we have our 5-card hand right here. All right, fantastic. Now to open up our plays, I would probably just start with Magician's Rod. And we're going to try and grab Secrets of Dark Magic here. Cool, so we've grabbed Secrets. Secrets is now ready to roll. Now what we're going to do next is make sure we can use the Secrets. So if this isn't a Dark Magician, like obviously I said this could be Dark Magician. In this case, we don't have DM, so Secrets is offline. So let's go ahead and activate this Magician's Souls. We're going to send it to the graveyard for cost. And we're just going to summon out DM himself. and he's just going to chill there like that. Cool. All right, we're going to go ahead and activate Branded Fusion. Now, you could do secrets here into the Dark Magicians, but I think it's kind of unnecessary at this point. So let's go ahead and try to resolve Branded Fusion. We're going to send Albaz to the graveyard from deck. You can also send a second copy of Dark Magician or a copy of your DMG or your Mahari or Mana, whatever you're playing in this slot. In this case, I'm just going to put a second Dark Magician. So Branded Fusion is going to summon out Lubellion based on those cards. Unfortunately, we need to discard here, and this is where I really like to search Soul Servant instead of Secrets, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. So we're going to activate Lubellion's effect, discarding Ash to Fusion Summon. If the opponent chains Imperm or Vela, we're going to chain Secrets. If they chain Gamma, I think you still have to chain Secrets here because Gamma will then destroy Lubellion. But basically, we're going to get to a double Dragoon kind of game state. So yeah, we would chain Secrets here, okay? I want to make that very clear. You don't have to, but you would chain Secrets here if this got hand trapped. We'll come back to that route of play after. So anyway, Lubellion's going to resolve, and that's going to put Albaz as well as Dark Magician back into the deck. And you can summon out your Dragoon, or you can summon out your Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Now, because our hand doesn't have Circle or Eternal Soul, this seems like a dumb option, so I'm going to go for Dragoon. So our board is just a bunch of very super polyable material, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. Now, we can, of course, activate Secrets of Dark Magic, which would get us into a second Dragoon here by fusing away these two, or it could once again get us into Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, or it could get us into the Dark Magicians. But we only have these two cards left, unfortunately, so this is the problem with the Branded Engine. It does use a lot of our resources really quick, and DM already kind of struggles with resource management, I feel. Let's go ahead and go back a step to before we summon Dragoon, just to see what happens if we did get hand trapped on the Lubellion. So going back to the activation of Branded Fusion, now I'd like to point out one other thing. You could Secrets before all of this jazz just to get the Dark Magicians out. That way when you do play your Branded Fusion up next, you'd be able to get a cheeky draw off that, but we can see the draw here wouldn't be that relevant. So anyway, going back to this board state for like the third time, we're going to go ahead and activate our Branded Fusion. That's going to send Albaz, and it's going to have to send a Dark Magician, and this is going to give us the Lubellion once again. Lubellion is going to activate on Fusion Summon. I wish we could do this effect later, because then we could do Soul Servant stuff, but that's just how it is. We're going to go for Lubellion, and we're going to discard Ash. The opponent is going to chain here their Imperm, their Gamma, or their Vela. It doesn't matter which one. Gamma is obviously the worst one because then the effect gets negated no matter what. But Imperm and Vela need to target, and if the target leaves the field, they no longer negate. So in the case that it's Imperm or Vela, fantastic. You can chain Secrets of Dark Magic, fusing away these two into, let's say, a Dragoon. Now, once again, you could make Dark Magician the Dragon Knight with the exact same material. The problem is we don't have Circle or Eternal Soul, which is kind of the whole deck's problem altogether. So I hate that this deck wants to do so many things because we just can't focus on one linear play, unfortunately. And now because Lubellion's actually in the grave, it is going to resolve if it just got Impermed or Veiled. So it will actually attempt to Fusion Summon now, and we're going to be able to use Fallen of Albaz and one of the Dark Magicians in here. We're going to put them back to the deck, and that will summon out our second Dragoon. So if you were playing second, this would be super oppressive. Not to mention, you'd have an extra card in your hand. So, well, it's Albaz in this case, but you get what I'm saying. Double Dragoon's pretty nice. Unfortunately, they were both summoned using only one vanilla each, so it'd be a singular pop each, but that's okay. The things that I don't like are how Rod has to stay around, because once you've activated your Branded Fusion, you cannot make links. So no Anaconda, no Artemis, or anything cool like that. That is another little problem I have with the Branded Engine. One good thing is it helps us get to Dragoon and other big boys, and if you activate Village up with stuff like this, you're turning off every other fusion deck in the format, and you might think Village sucks playing second, and it normally does, but in this format, everyone's setting their Branded in red, so if you just activate Village first, normal summon Rod, fantastic. What are they going to do? They literally cannot even chain it, so I really dig that. Obviously, they'll be able to use their Mirror Jade effect to try to banish Rod. You got to have an answer for this. If you don't have an answer for this, well, the Village is dead, you know. But, you know, it can work out just fine. But yeah, basically Village, very slept on card this format, especially when everyone's playing Super Poly. I really should have used my shiny one, but yeah, you get what I mean. Card good, card good. Please play this in the current format. Restate this point because some people are like, why are you still playing Ref if Branded Fusion exists? Well, unfortunately, when Anaconda sends Branded Fusion, you're locked out of summoning for the turn. So if you summon Lubellion off the Anaconda Branded Fusion, like, what are you doing? Like, Lubellion isn't going to do anything. So when you do use Anaconda Branded, you always want to make Mirror Jade. Which, look, it does get you the Branded Fusion for next turn because you always end up sending Albion with Mirror Jade's effect to ensure that you get a follow-up turn and follow-up play. But the problem with that, once again, is, I don't know, I'd rather just Anaconda and send Ref a lot of the time, and hard opening Ref, I feel, is still just better than hard opening Branded because Branded has a discard in it. So it's basically a 2-card fusion if you use Lubellion, whereas this is always going to be a 1-card fusion. You can disagree and say just play Branded and don't play Ref, and that's fine too. It's totally up to you. Of course, if Anaconda does get hit by the ban list soon, we will make new ways to play the deck, and that will probably just revolve around more fusion summoning or just relying on Branded a little harder maybe. I don't have Albaz, and yeah, I don't know, I probably won't get them while they're really expensive. Feel free to add them in. It would definitely boost up the consistency of seeing your Branded Fusion. I don't like Branded Opening because it has that discard, and DM really doesn't want to discard too much, especially because this Branded Fusion, if you're making Lubellion, already has a discard attached to it. And then if you Branded Opening into that, you've just gone -3 for like Dark Magician, the Dragonite, or Dragoon, when Ref would have just done it for 1 card. So I still really just like Ref. I know that's not a surprise to anyone, but yeah, I just thought I'd, reinforce my thoughts on Ref versus Branded. They're very different cards. I know they achieve similar things, but they're just so different, guys. You got to play both, in my opinion. Also, there is the slight chance your opponent's a big Dumbo and you activate Branded and they ash you and you just go, okay, cool, well, here's Ref. But yeah, that's a little niche and will probably never come up. But hey, let me know in the comments if that ever happens to you, because that would be really funny. Now, one of the main reasons I've told people in the past to play Branded Fusion is the fact that you can turbo Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Sometimes that's not the best option, but let's look at some hands where it is so you know when to go for it. Now, one, you'll need to open Branded Fusion, so that alone is going to be tough, especially because we're not playing Albaz. But because we're not playing Albaz, opening Rod is a lot more consistent, which is what you need on the top end. So on the top end, you're going to need to open Magician's Rod plus either Soul Servant or Circle. It doesn't matter which one, because if you have one, you can get the other and vice versa, and that will make sense in 1 second. So why I say you only need Rod with one of these is because let's say you open this exact hand with these 3 cards. You can normal summon your Rod, and that will of course grab you Soul Servant. You can go ahead and activate that circle. You're then going to be able to chain Soul Servant, which is going to put Eternal Soul on top of your deck. And of course, when you reveal those 3, oh look, Eternal Soul's there. And let's go back to that other hand. So in this case, we have the Soul Servant. Cool, you're going to normal summon Rod and just do the opposite, right? Grab the circle, once again play the circle, chain the Soul Servant, stack the Eternal Soul on top of the deck. Fantastic, you've got the Eternal Soul. So whenever you see Rod in combination with Circle or Soul Servant, you know that you can confirm the Eternal Soul. And you know what? I play 1 and 1 of these, but in this build where we might be trying to turbo to this guy a little more, it might be better to bump these up to 2, 3 I still think is a little unnecessary, even though you want to see Rod with one of these. You always just want to see Rod with Soul Servant, if anything. And the reason for that is if you have nothing else in your hand, you can at least link Rod into the Artemis and then flip the Soul Servant on the opponent's turn, which is going to tribute Artemis, engrave, and add the Rod back to your hand. So never forget that interaction. That interaction is why Artemis, I think, should stay in the deck pretty much till we get a better link 1. You could argue because of Branded, you don't need links as much, but I think that play is too important to just throw away, So anyway, back to the 3-card combo. I know, 3-card combo, I'm sorry, that's just how DM is, okay? It's just not ideal. So you do need to have Rod, Branded Fusion, and Soul Servant. Now, of course, as I mentioned, Rod can be Soul Servant, or Circle can be Soul Servant. It's kind of interchangeable here. You just got to have 2 of the pieces, essentially. And once you have 2 of the pieces and Branded Fusion, fantastic. I'll play out the hand properly now. So we're going to go for Rod, and Rod's going to grab Soul Servant. We're going to go for Circle, chain Soul Servant, which will stack Eternal Soul. We're going to grab the Eternal Soul. We can then put the Soul Servant in the bin. Oh, we won't banish it yet. Sorry. Soul Servant will not banish yet. Sorry. It'll just be in the grave. So let's go ahead and activate Branded Fusion. That's going to send Albaz and Dark Magician. Fantastic. That's going to make us Lubellion. Now here's the downside. We do need a discard, so it's still a 4-card combo. So let's just put an extra card in our hand. So just an Ash Blossom. We're going to discard that Ash Blossom. That is going to allow Lubellion to fuse. He's going to fuse our Albaz and our Dark Magician, putting them both back into the deck. That will summon out our Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, and we can go ahead and set that Eternal Soul. And on the opponent's turn, we don't have a Dark Magician to revive, but we can of course revive the Dark Magician. We can also banish the Soul Servant, so let's go ahead and get a cheeky draw one for banishing that. I'll just give the deck a shuffle, and we'll see what we draw. We're drawing into another Soul Servant. All right, that's fine. We can deal with that. That's cool. My biggest issue with Brandon summoning Dark Magician the Dragon Knight is it still requires a discard, and that just sucks, guys. Like, we really can't afford that discard. Like, we would have been passing there with one card in hand, and that is not ideal. Yeah, not to mention we had to open up like 3 pretty specific cards. The fact that Brandon, when sent off Anaconda, doesn't do anywhere near the same thing as when you hard activate it, does make this whole combo a lot harder. And yeah, I know that Soul Servant and Rod are kind of interchangeable here, but it still just makes the entire deck just feel bad as a whole. Hey, who knows, maybe I'll even bump these numbers up to 3 just to try to pull off the Dark Magician Dragon Knight, like, you know, lock. It's good because the Eternal Soul makes it dodge Super Poly too, which would be really nice. But yeah, I'll keep experimenting with this because I feel like we've hit a wall and we just need to find something new with it. But anyway, thanks for joining me.